I'm at the point now where we need to start really caring. I've always cared about the preservation of games and digital history and stuff, but we need to really start caring, okay? These people, these corporations, these shareholders, they do not care about the fun, the art. They only care about dollar number amount go up. That's all they care about. And it has to go up. It can never go down. It can never stay the same. If I have to sacrifice my six-figure salary to get $99,000 a year, I can't do that. No, it has to go up. Big number must get bigger. I don't understand this. I live a pretty humble lifestyle, and I've always been of the opinion that sometimes you can sacrifice some money for some benefits or some quality. Sacrificing some money for some quality or some work-life balance. Look, man, these people are just not like me. These businesses, these corporations are just not like me. Big number must get bigger, and it's only going to get worse. We've got Sony out here this week, big in the news, big in the drama. PlayStation Blog's got this article here. Physical disc production ending in January 2028 for new games releasing on PlayStation consoles. They don't want you to own your games. They don't want you. I don't even know. Do they even want me to play them? Because like, if I'm not connected to the internet, like if my power goes out, or if I lose my internet for a few days, or if I move and I don't have internet, I can't play my game. I don't know what these people think. Like, do they just think I don't have a life outside of the internet? Like, come on, man. Like, this is why I don't upload a whole lot of videos or stream a whole lot, because I'm actually doing things outside and I have a life. So, but this is just bizarre to me. I love physical media. Like I've got my big Nintendo 64 collection up here, my Xbox and PlayStation, a bunch of Xbox and PlayStation games down here. I've got Rogue Squadron still in the N64 right now. Like, I love physical games. I love popping in the cartridge. I love popping in the disc. There's just something about that that's satisfying. And then knowing that you own the media, that you own the game, and you don't have to rely on anybody else to play it or enjoy it. I don't want to rely on anybody else. I want to rely on the machine that runs the game to play the game. That's all I really want to rely on. So this PlayStation blog just strikes me as super dumb. We got to save money, cut corners everywhere. And normally, I don't think people would care if all of this was going to cause games to be cheaper. Here's the problem, though. It will not cause games to be cheaper because they're still going to make the price higher because number must get bigger. It's just the way it is. So they say here, as consumer preferences and the broader entertainment industry continue to shift away from physical to digital, physical game disc production for all new games releasing on PlayStation consoles will be discontinued starting January 2028. Following this date, new games will be available on the PlayStation Store and at retailers in digital formats only. This transition has no impact on games that already released or will be releasing prior to January 2028 in disc format. This is a natural direction for Sony Interactive Entertainment to adapt to consumer trends as the general preference for digital media significantly outpaces physical discs. Transition will enable us to align more closely with how most of our community prefers to access and play games today. I can see that most people buy digital games now because it's easy, but I still think a large portion of gamers are actual gamers that purchase the media, that want to own the media, so that when the subscription runs out, if they have to move, if they don't have internet, they can still play the game. I still want to be able to enjoy things without relying on internet companies. They continue to say, we'll continue to prioritize our resources to drive innovation, blah, blah. This is just corporate speak. We remain committed to delivering world-class gaming experiences. So yeah, delivering world-class gaming experiences. Cutscene simulators are not world-class gaming experiences. That is a bogus lie. So the biggest reason, at least, I think that this has not been taken so positively is because of this article over here, where they announced that PlayStation will remove hundreds of purchased movies and TV shows from user libraries in September. So I think this is in the UK, but it's if they can just change their regional restrictions on products at any given time, why would I purchase them digitally and then have them taken away? Like, I have a ton of there's a bookshelf back here. Like, I've got DVDs and manga on that. Ooh, got DVDs and manga back there on that shelf over there. And then, like, right here, there's a bookshelf with a ton of DVDs and movies on it. I love DVDs and movies. What if I want to go back and watch Clue? You know, I think that's a silly movie. I love that movie. What if I want to go back and watch that old Disney Three Musketeers? That movie is one of my favorite movies of all time. Hilarious. What if I want to go watch that? Oh, but if I own it digitally, they could just take it away from me. Every movie out there deserves to be enjoyed a little bit. If it's on DVD, if somebody wants to purchase it, it deserves to be enjoyed. And those people that want to go out and purchase the DVDs deserve to enjoy them. So this is just silly. Being able to do this is just silly. Just removing paid content that people have paid the ownership level prices to own. You know, it's just bogus. So then this all really comes down to what is ownership and what are property rights. This is where I think most people, even myself, like we'll get it a little bit wrong, like maybe a lot wrong. But the concept of ownership, it really can only come if you that concept can only come to you if you believe in a higher power or if you believe in God. Because if there's no God, if there's no higher power, then theft or the taking away of property wouldn't be wrong at all. Because then morality is subjective, and then it's survival of the fittest, blah, blah. Like, you know, the strong can do whatever they want, the weak don't get to do anything. Or they can try, but they don't succeed. It's just the way it is out in nature. Like, it's just a basic nature's law, right? Like, you'll get the naturalists and secularists in there to critique me on that, I'm sure. But the concept of ownership, for example, if I have a car and I use that car to get to work, and that work, that job, that employment that I have is how I sustain my existence. That is how I sustain my life. That is my pursuit of happiness, so to speak. I can pursue that. Read the Declaration of Independence. Great stuff. July 4th today, by the way. Happy 4th. It's the big 250, man. It's the big 250. Big excitement over here. So that's the concept of ownership. Is property is an extension of the owner. It is part of them. That's why theft is wrong. That's why, you know, if I were to chop off my hand, it would be the same as losing my livelihood. I can't work without my hands. I work with my hand. So if you cut off my way to get to my employment, or if you cut off, you know, what I use to survive, then that's why it's an extension of me. It's my property is an extension of myself. Everybody's property is an extension of themselves. And whether that, like, you know, not all property has to be useful. Like, for example, I've got these plushies back here that I like, and stealing, like, you know, if someone were to come in and steal them, like, they're still mine. It would still be wrong of them to steal it. Thou shalt not steal is pretty easy to understand. So I don't think this is really a difficult concept. And this is why we need to start talking about digital media owner and property in the digital era, right? Because these people don't want you to believe that you can own a bunch of ones and zeros on a hard drive that is in your computer, in your house, that you built, that you bought, that you paid for, or whatever. They don't think that you can own those ones and zeros. That's just bizarre to me. Like, the camera right now that you're watching this through is on the machine, right? It's on top of my machine. I own that machine. I built it. I purchased all the parts. I built it myself. It's my property, and all the things that are on that machine should belong to me. Like, it's in my property, on my property. I've built it. I think it's pretty simple to understand. If purchasing isn't ownership, piracy isn't theft. People are going to just revert back to this. This is why companies like Steam are so successful. They just provide an alternative to piracy that is easier to circumvent than piracy is. And that's all it is. And this is why I'm so glad Steam is not publicly, like Valve Steam is not publicly traded. These other companies that are big publicly traded corporate companies, like the shareholders, I hate shareholders. We need to start getting rid of shareholders. This is just bonkers to me. Publicly traded companies are just, especially in the video game and especially in the entertainment sphere in general, in my opinion, it doesn't work. It always crashes. The video game market has crashed several times over now, and who knows when it'll do it next? Because I'm predicting it's going to be soon. Because with the mass layoffs going on at Microsoft, it's pretty rough. So we're going to find out when the next crash is, hopefully soon. But we need to start advocating for digital ownership. We need to start talking about it. We need to start, y'all need to start talking about it. Talk to your local politician, bring it up to your city, bring it up to your state reps, bring it up to everybody. Because these companies, what they will do is eventually, with these cloud gaming services, this is like one of the examples with this cloud gaming stuff. Streaming is just one thing, right? Like when you're subscribed to a streaming service, that's one thing. But like when you are purchasing full products digitally and then they can remove them from you, that's crazy. So we need to start talking about digital ownership to our politicians, to our counselors, everywhere. Because what these companies will do is they want everything on the cloud, and then you won't even own a computer. You can own a screen, you can own a monitor here, but they don't want you to own a computer. Because if you can compute your own stuff, and if you can make your own stuff, or if you can play your own stuff, if you can compute your own information, that's not good. It doesn't make them money. It doesn't make big number go bigger. They want you on the cloud. They want everything on that would normally be on your machine on the cloud. This is also going to lead to your private documents, like your electronic documents. Like I have a bunch of insurance documents and stuff about like my vehicles and my rent, my lease, like all of that is digital. Like my lease, it has information on it that I would like to not get out publicly to other people. So I want to own that information, that document. I do not want that document on clouds. I don't want anybody else to have access to it. We need to start talking about this. Everybody needs to talk about this. This is going to be a huge deal, and your privacy and your ownership of anything that you own is slowly going to erode in every area if you let this go. If you give them an inch, they'll take 20 miles. Like, it's just the way it is. Like, you can't let these weirdos take any rights from you in any area, whether that's physical, digital, wherever. So anyway, start talking about it. Talk about it with your friends. Talk about it with your neighbors. If it comes up, it comes up. Just bring it up. Talk to your politicians. I'm urging everybody to talk to their politicians. We need to start doing something, because it's very quickly going the route of you will own nothing and be happy. So that's all I got, really. I can only encourage. I can only encourage you to go start talking about it. I can't really start any movements or anything. Like, I'm just a humble YouTuber and gamer. So get out of here. Be good.